All right, let's talk a little bit about email blasts as a database marketing strategy. Many of you work for companies or are associated with organizations that do email blasting. As a consultant, I run across a number of companies who do email blasting. Some I have been able to talk into reducing the number of email blasts. Others don't want to hear anything about it. They want to continue to do email blasting. So let's talk a little bit about the pros and cons and issues associated with doing email blasts. So an email blast is a single email message that is sent to the entire email list, or a large segment of that email list, or many email lists at once. These emails tend to target most or all the contacts in the mailing list, which makes your mailing list have a huge, wide reach. Now, email blasts are also known as broadcast emails, mass emails, bulk emails, e-blasts, and email campaigns, or spam. Now, most people are using the term email campaigns to avoid the negative tones associated with these other terms, especially email blasts and spam. Now, there are some benefits for email blasting, and when you talk to people who are email blasters who do this all the time, and I'm going to show you an example of one of these organizations in just a minute, they argue that it's all about the benefits. Every email blast is a reminder advertisement. In addition, email blasting, sending out emails, has a very low cost associated with it. Once you develop the email or whatever the collateral materials are associated with the email, the cost of actually emailing them out, since you already have the list, is extremely low. And many organizations are able to point to their analytics, which might suggest more sales, at least in the short term. This is an interesting time of the year for this because we are coming up on the Christmas season, and of course with Black Friday and those sorts of things coming up in the very near future, you will tend to see more and more email blasts in your account. Now, what about the bad things about email blasting? Well, part of this goes from an old quote from that I heard many times when I lived in the state of Iowa, and that is, never try to teach a pig to sing. First, it's a waste of time, and it annoys the pig. And doing email blasting is a little bit like this. Not only is it obviously a waste of time for the large percentage of people who you send those email blasts to, eventually it annoys those people. All right, so first, it annoys your customers. Eventually, they will unsubscribe. Now, there is some evidence that that will or won't happen, but in general, you will find your unsubscribing rates go up as you continually do more and more e-blasting. You will get a reputation as a spammer. Your metrics will get worse and worse and worse in terms of open rates, bounce rates, unsubscribing rates, all those sorts of things. And you're passing up opportunities to become a targeted database marketer. Now, top reasons why many users don't like email blasts. First off, they're unsegmented, and so everybody gets the same message. Email blasts are often sent to an entire list without any segmentation. And since your subscribers probably have different wants and needs, the value of this blast to them is probably diminished. Email blasts send the same message to everyone without considering their personal interests, past interactions, or their needs, and so untargeted email blasts are a little bit like junk mail. They're not personalized, and all of us love to read messages that addresses us personally. And so when you don't personalize them, you pass up an opportunity to build a little bit stronger bond and relationship with your customers. Unlike the action-based emails that you get, broadcast emails are unexpected they're unexpected due to you not necessarily wanting them or expecting to see them. Unlike 10 or 15 years ago, where there are a lot of new marketing methods available like social media, pay-per-click advertising, etc. Unfortunately, none of them are as effective as a well-organized, a well-thought-out email campaign. And my argument is that when you start doing a bunch of email blasts, you start to poison that well. Now, I have a little thing here from a company called WP Beginner. These are guys from WordPress, and of course, they are email blasting consultants. So make sure you understand that. Here's where this comes from. And of course, the question is, are email blasts outdated? So they start off by saying, some people think that they're an outdated method of communication. That's because email blasts are bulk emails sent to everyone regardless of their choice. At times, email blasts are highly irrelevant and useless to the participants. And as a result, the email recipients may ignore, mark the email as spam, and even unsubscribe to your email list. Now, if you get enough notifications from Gmail that you're spamming people, they will start to block you. The biggest challenge of email blasting is deliverability. A lot of times your emails don't get delivered because they get caught in either the spam filters or, and maybe something even worse, where the people that you send it to report you as a spammer to Gmail. There are some proven techniques to improve email delivery. Update your email list, maintain a frequency of your emails, no spikes, avoid misleading subject lines, and make your emails useful and valuable with engaging content. That's difficult to do, I believe, when you're doing email blasts. And so they say, are email blasts outdated? Their answer is no. That's right. You just need to know the right way to do email blasts. And their quote is, email is still the most reliable form of communication in the world. With new technology, there are better ways to do email blasts which get you even higher results. The truth is, there is no right way to do email blasts, folks. And with the exception of things like newsletters and other very general communications, they probably shouldn't be sent out. The biggest challenge, of course, with email blasting, as I said before, is email deliverability. And we already discussed this information. This is simply a repeat of a previous slide. Email deliverability is improved dramatically by new packages like Constant Contact, etc., that you can purchase yourself, or if you have an email delivery organization that you use, like Mailshark or something, then that's obviously another option. The whole point is to try to get around the trapping filters for spam email. Let me give you an example of email blasting, okay? And my example is Dick's Sporting Goods, and I'm not picking on Dick's, but you'll see why I'm using them as an example. So I am a scorecard member at Dick's Sporting Goods, and a scorecard member is a person who is in their frequency program. So I belong to Dick's Marketing, Dick's Sporting Goods campaign and frequency program, and so every once in a while I get a reward from them for that. So here are the emails that Dick's sent to me from November 1st to November 10th, 2020. And you will see that these are simply email blasts, and there is some interesting notion in here, like personalization of the headline. John, we noticed that you may be interested in this, and that's because I went through, put something in. Every once in a while, I'll do this. I'll go through and put something in my in basket, and then I'll just walk away from it. And of course, this is the sort of thing that you'll get. Now, this is just for 10 days, the first 10 days of November, and so if you count this up, you'll find that there are 23 emails here in 10 days. All right, but also they own Golf Galaxy, and Golf Galaxy, with their Golf Galaxy email, they send me many of the same emails. You'll notice that in this last 10-day period, That's 17 more emails from Golf Galaxy. So I got a total of 40 emails from the Dick's Sporting Goods organization in the last 10 days. Now, it turns out that, that Dick's Sporting Goods and I are not great friends, and we don't really have that great a relationship, but I do buy stuff from them. I'm not sure that it merits 4 emails a day. That's right, an average of 4 emails a day. They're obviously doing a lot of email blasting, and I would argue that they're over blasting and that they are oversaturating my inbox. So, what does a person do when this happens? Well, there are 3 stages of consumers dealing with spam. First is you just simply don't open it. You might notice if you look at that list that most of those things are still bolded, which means, of course, that they weren't opened. The next stage in this, of course, is automatically deleting them. I would typically delete them. I didn't delete the ones for the last 10 days just so that I could count them to see how many there were. And then, of course, the final stage is that if you get fed up enough, you tend to unsubscribe. None of those are good things for a database marketer that is using email as one of their primary communications tools. Now, I have here an example of a company who finally decided that this maybe wasn't the best strategy. And of course, so what they did was they sent out an email saying, because we've been filling your inbox, maybe somebody like, I don't know, that's sending me 4 emails a day. And so what they've decided to do is to go from email blasting down to more segmented communication tools. And of course, and this is just the email that they sent you explaining what they're going to do and why they're going to do it, and why they think that this will be better for you and them. So at the end of the day, all database marketers you need to think about creating a targeted email campaign rather than simply doing email blasting, which I would argue is not only lazy but potentially harmful for database marketers. Number 1, choose the best email service or software for your organization and for your needs. Create your email list, preferably a marketing database list. Segment that email list. Create targeted email campaigns for each group on that list. Measure the results and improve email deliverability. Test, test, test for continuous improvement. Stop being a spammer and start becoming a responsible database marketer.